Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson.
あと何かあったっけ？あ、分析で紐か。
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. The fibers from this cut appear to be different. If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Knife で切った。まあなんかそんな気がするよね。船乗りが関係していそうな気がする。トビーもちゃんと乗ってるよ。細かい。
Search, Toby.
来た。トビー視点です。この匂いのね、流れを追っていきましょう。なるほどね、トビーが探索するからここ開けれたんだな。こう回って回ってあそこの小屋に入ったっぽいか。一旦入って出てるね。
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
で、階段とここを通ってこっちに抜けてるね。で、井戸の脇を
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
で、井戸を抜けて外に出たのかな。
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding
逃走するだけならかなり手間というかね、無駄な手順を踏んでるように。
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire.
思える。じゃあまずはあの小屋に行ってみるか。なんだあれ。彫像か。
This hook might be useful. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved. Small gardening tools. Nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty.
なるほど。この井戸は
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
なるほどね。
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
なるほどね。取られていたと思われる銀食器たちがなぜか
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
単なる強盗じゃなさそうだと。で、ここは何か特に。そうだね。船乗りがなんか関係してそうだと。資料館で船員の容疑者を探す。資料館ってホームズの家か。どこだ。書庫で検索か。さっきの奥さんにちょっと話を聞いてみるかい？
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship? We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed. Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
Are? おとすん。どこ行った？
A hunter scene.
狩りが好きだったんだね、やっぱね。ワトソンが消えた。まあいっか。まあいっか。じゃあ書庫に戻りますか。では、船乗りの資料。1893年のジブラルタルロック号。93年か。ジブラルタルロック号の到着。メアリー・フレイザー町。なるほど。
Here it is. The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
専門家。ウィギンズ。なるほど。
Wiggins, would you come upstairs, please?
大丈夫？仕事を掘ってきたけど大丈夫か、ウィギンズ。
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3時間後。
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
かなり荒っぽい、
I left it right on the table for you, sir.
荒っぽい方法で持ってきたんだな。どこ机。机の右って言ったらこれか。
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London Line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
これか。
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
ああ、ここに、
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
これでこう残った人物を探すってことだね。
I do not think that this sailor has any connection to the case.
ああ、名前が違った。ハーバートって書いてあるから。
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar.
これか。
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime. Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
10日に出発して10日に出発しているから殺害は7日なのでワンチャンあり得るという話だな。あとはトーマス・ウォーカーとハバート・テントン。
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
なるほどね。
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him. Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
しばらくして。
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
誠実。なんもないのか手。新聞紙のインク。ナイフ。
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
これかな？こっちかな？どっちだろう？とりあえずこっちで行こうか。
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope. 船長は殺人犯。早いな。あれもう早いな。船長は殺人犯。まあでもそうだと思うんだよな、普通に。これ、方面がいいような気がするな。この感じは。 っと待ってね。ちょっと一旦手がかり他にないかだけ探しますね。はい。別の、まあ、選択肢というか、その、犯人というか結論にすることもできそうだったんだけど、まあ一番やっぱ船長が犯人っていうのがしっくりくるんで、ランドル親子が犯人というふうに結論できるんだけど、まあ今回どう書いても船長が犯人かなと。で、俺多分ね、俺これ小説で読んだような気がするんだよな。なんか似たような事件があったような気がするんで、なんか、なんとなくそんな気がする。読んだことがあるような気がするんだよな。で、まあ、このケースだとね、なんとなくこう、まあ、殺人を犯してるんだから全部逮捕だという風にしがちなんだけど、小説を読んでいると、こういうパターンは大体ね、こう、まあ、方面というか、許すパターンが多いんですよね。で、今回まあ、多分、この感じだと書いてある通りね。まあ、夫がね、殺された男が、まあ、暴力を振るっているというところもあり、今回は方面でいいんじゃないかなというふうに思います。確か小説も、なんか許してあげてたような気がするんだよな。ちょっと今回はね、方面で行ってみようと思います。まあこれどっちでもいいっちゃいいんだよね。このゲームは、なんていうの、プレイヤーがいろいろこう決めれるんで、絶対の正解っていうのが一応の正解はあるんだけど、完璧な正解っていうのはないっていうところもあるので、これは方面で行こうかなと思います。
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
1時間も経たないうち。
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear, and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
いけただろ、いけたな。おお、おお、急にやめてくれ、いきなりの。
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity.
あ、そうそうそうそうそうそうそうそう。
have far exceeded my expectations.
なんか試してたな。
See here, Captain Crocker. We'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation, and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night. Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
ああ。これね、確かそうだったな。これも小説のまんまで、確か最後のやりとりがあったんだよね。自殺しようとしたかどうかちょっと覚えてないけど、してなかったような気がするけどな。まあ、船長を試して、で、ワトソンを陪審員にして無罪だっつってやってたような気がしますね。これは僕はこれでいいんじゃないかなと思います。今回すごい短かったね。サクサクと進んでよかったですね。じゃあこれで決めましょう。
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, how ever did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
ミツバチが。
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone
じゃあ
here with
これだ
these
け見て終わりましょうか。おー、よかったんじゃないでしょうか。銀のフォーク。はい。というところでね、今回は結構短く終わりましたね、この話はね。はい。これで終わりましょうかね。ありがとうございました。また次回に続きます。